Hi everyone. So I have this big plant here. It's actually starting to blossom. I didn't notice that until after I put it out of the pot. So I don't know if the flowers will survive or if the flowers will fall off. I see some more coming here and so on. So what I've done so far, I haven't replanted this in years, and you can tell. Look at that. It was all roots, all of it. All I did was take off this because I always have something on top. Well, not always, apparently, when I'm going to show you. Let's go over here. So what I normally do is put something on top. Either it's like here, it's rocks or moss or, you know, something on top, because I have the radiator under and the heat comes up and it dries out super fast, unless I put something on top to keep kind of the moisture in. And as I was digging down with my finger, I couldn't really go down further because it's so hard. It's just roots, all of it. It's just roots. So I started to dig out a few of these beads that I had on. They're not beads, they're decoration stone, but plastic. So I started to dig them out and I realized it's just roots, all of it. Poor thing doesn't have any new soil, here's some more. They have even started to grow around the beads because there was nothing for it to. I see another one in here. See if I can, yeah, like that. And I feel I break roots when I dig them out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna, because it can strangle itself when it's this thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break some of these roots. I'm gonna untangle them a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little, just around the whole thing, a little bit, just digging through, just using my nails just to get it all out a little bit. Now you could do, but I don't want to take it down because it's a lot of them and it's hanging up here. I'm sorry about the light. It's going into the roof again and it's all over, you know, like this. So I just carefully lifted it out of the pot. This is it. I don't use holes either. Very few of my flower pots has hole in the bottom because the evaporation, and I don't like to water a whole lot and very often. And I have very big plants like this one or this one, and they need a lot of water. So in order for them to kind of survive in my neglective care, they don't want any holes in their pots, trust me. Oh, here are some more of these guys. Some more of these plastic beads. I'm gonna put them on top again. I'm just gonna get as many of them off. Oops, sorry. Here's some more. And it's stuck to the roots. Yeah, so what I do is just go around it, get the roots out a bit. And unfortunately, I have no new, really, you know, well, it's new, but hang on, let me just focus on this a little bit first. So this one actually had some rocks in the bottom, but I'm gonna leave them in here. I just open up the roots a little bit so it doesn't strangle itself. So what I do, like I said, I didn't have any fresh soil or dirt. I had this one and it was super dry because the clip that I had around it had fallen off, so it was just super dry. But I put a lot of water in here and I left it, so now it's super wet. It's like this, but that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is gonna put in some of these, and this is, I have this huge bag of, this is actually chicken manure. It is chicken poop that is dried and made into like this little pellet-y things. Now I don't put a lot of that in there. That might have been a bit too much. But since I don't feed my pork plants too often, and since it's in the bottom, it doesn't smell either, so it just smells now that I put it in. So there, now it has a bit of new dirt there. So let's put it in and see what it looks like. I'll see if I can do this with one hand. I have to be really careful when I lift it up. I don't want to break anything. Yeah, it looks good. Maybe I can put a little bit more underneath, get it up a bit more. I don't want it too high either, but I think I can put a little bit more in there. I'm gonna actually, you know, I said I put a little bit too much. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit like that of the chicken manure fertilizer. It's actually for gardens. And I have this huge bag. I had it for years. But I have had the luxury of having a farm near. Oh yeah, I'm not messy. I'm not messy at all. Why did I leave the mirror there? I don't know. I knew this was gonna happen. Oh yeah, and this is great. I'm not making a mess. Yeah. Well, I knew this was gonna happen, so anyway. I was kind of set on cleaning before I even started. That looks better. So I'm gonna remove some of this dirt here. There. Put it over there. Okay, so I'm just checking so I don't twist this one too much. I tried to twist it and then twist it back. Oh, do you like this? So I don't break these. If I twist them too much, they will break because they're stuck in certain places. Like here and so on. So now that it has come up a bit from the bottom, I all of a sudden have a bit room on the sides here to put more dirt in. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a bit too late to pull up the sleeve, but you know, I don't have to make it worse than it is. Usually I fold the edges down, but kind of one-handed, it's tricky, so I'm not going to bother. I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to have to clean anyway, so it doesn't matter how big the mess is, because I still have to clean. So I just put some new dirt around it, give it some nourishment. Poor thing. I can't remember when the last time that I replanted it. Replanted, I don't know what it's called, but gave it some new dirt. Should probably not push. Yeah, I can push some down there too. I want some fresh dirt all over, and I have a cat that wants to go out, and it's snowing. Can you see? Probably can't see. It's snowing again. My other cat is out, so maybe I'll let this guy out too. You wanna go out? Yeah, you wanna go out? Yeah, I wanna go out. Bye. Okay, so there's my other cat. Okay, back to the plant. So I'm not quite sure what this is called in English. It's a Hoya. In Swedish, directly translated from Swedish, it's Porcelainflower. Latin name is Hoya. I think this is a Hoya Carnosa, if I'm not mistaken. If I look at the flower buds, it looks like a Hoya Carnosa. Now this is an old plant. Oh, hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Here. So there. Doot. Yeah. So this hasn't fully blossomed yet. It's still flower buds. But I seem to remember that I looked it up once and it was a Hoya Carnosa. This is actually one of the plants I inherited from my mom. My sister didn't want any of the flowers. She took a few like smaller ones, but this is one of the guys that I almost killed it a couple of times, and I cut it down several times because I felt it got too big. So I'm not pushing too hard. It maybe look like that, but I'm not. I don't want the soil to be too compressed. Something like that. I'm gonna give it a little bit more on top here. Just giving it a little bit more. Like that, and I'm gonna rinse off my hand a little bit and wipe off the edges. Yeah, let's go. Oh, and of course I put cold water, but my hands are cold enough already. Because I've been outside a bit in the snow with my dog. Just a dog in the window. And let's wipe out the edges a bit. Normally, if I move the plant, I do this on this, on the sink or outside if the weather permitted, but I'm not going to take this one down. Let's see if I can wipe this off. So you can see I'm really good at making a mess. It's one of my skills. So there. And this soil is super watery right now, so I don't think I'm gonna have to water it today. And I'm also gonna clean up some of these, put them back on top. There's not a whole lot of them left, but I just shake it off and I put this on again. And I also had these little stones in here, maybe like that. But I think I'm gonna do build a little fairy house terrarium. I have my plants. I've been watching a lot of Design. He makes terrariums, vivariums, and also aquariums. And I've been watching him make some terrariums where you try to make it for free, or you use local plants and stuff like that. So that is one of my plants. Oops, where did it go? Come back. Boop, boop. So that was just a quick, easy way to give a guy like this that are huge. I would take a lot of time and effort to take down. And if you just want to give it some new soil, I mean, just to untie everything that's in here, it's some string, it's this guy, it's this thing here, it's tied together in a couple of places just for support, it's over the nail up there, and it has a couple more. I mean, just taking this down is pain in the, and I also risk breaking the branches. But if you're super careful when you do this, and just carefully lift it out of the plant, out of the pot, you can do it like this. So I have, no, actually I cut that one down. I think it was, yeah, this one. I had this one was really huge. I had this like growing up on this side. It was huge. And for once, I didn't do it like this. Instead, I was, oh, I'm going to take it down. I'm going to yada, yada, yada. So I unhooked it from all the hooks. I see I have hooks like there and there and there and like everywhere. So it was huge, and it was growing over this side, and this one was coming up here. And that one, I didn't do it this way, and I ended up breaking it. So all of a sudden I have 6 plants. So this is one of the stems that I broke off, coming up here. Sold 2. I've sold, and then I have out here I have one, and this one is the old one that I just moved. It was hanging in the kitchen too, so it's the same one. It's kind of funny with this one. I don't know the name in English. Again, I'll look it up and put it in the description. This is a northern window, so even though they get a lot of light, they're not getting a lot of light, you know. So even if they're in the window, this is northern window, and see the leaves turn all green, really pretty dark green color. But if we go to this, that is they sort of get a southern sun, or at least sunny, sorry, at least a lot of sun. They turn this sort of freckly yellow. I love this plant. I love this. And I know for some of you it grows wild. It does not grow wild here. Here it is a potted plant. So anyway, this is just a quick way if you have a big plant like this and you need to replant it. But remember, be really careful. Don't twist this one too much because you might break the branches. And if they break down here, you have to take the whole thing down and take out the broken piece. And you know, you can make more plants from it like I have done here. This is not the same flower, but I have a lot of these, and I was moving the flower and I broke some off, and as you can see they made some pretty great roots here, so I need to plant this pretty soon. I believe this is called a Kalanchoe. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, and I don't know. The Swedish nickname for it is spring, hang on, autumn fire or spring something. They have two nicknames depending on when you buy them, and the flowers are really pretty. They're in a lot of variations and so on. So anyway, that was my little flower planting tips for you today. And also, if you have big plants like this, they need big flower pots, but they usually don't fill up the whole pot unless you buy something like that. They fill up the whole pot, and that's one. Let me go over here actually. Pardon about my mess. Then you can have fun and just make like little landscape. You can put little critters in here. Oh, sorry. Let me press it like that. So this is my little, I have my little green bunny. I have my little stupid moose. I'm sorry. Moose aren't stupid, but this one looks just, oops, sorry. This one just looks kind of derpy. I don't know. I love him. I love derpy stuff. So my little fairy and stuff like that. So like this is a big plant. We call it paradise tree. It's called a lot of different things. So this is also one of my mom's. So as you can see from the stems, it's kind of old compared to my finger. You know, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. Yeah. So that's a little tip, and it also helps the dirt from the moisture, keeping the moisture if you have. This one actually has a hole in the bottom. That's why it has a little plate under. That one doesn't have hole, but you can have hole in it. They just have these plugs that you can take in or out, because you can use the pots outside if you want. That one doesn't have a hole, that one has a hole, that one has a hole, so it's kind of different. This is, I believe this one is from my aunt. I have one that is from my neighbor too, and it needs to be replanted. So you can see the roots are coming up, so it kind of needs some new dirt, this one too, but I'm not going to do it today. I'm just going to do my this. Love my English. I think this is from my neighbor, and then I have another one in another room here. So that was my 18 minutes, 20 minutes, not so quick tip on how to replant a big plant if you don't want to move it too far, and if you're prepared to have some soil and dirt to clean up. So quick rewind, just carefully lift it out of the pot, move the pot aside, sort of open up the roots a bit so that it can, you know, grow into the new. Carefully, well, put some soil and maybe some fertilizer. You don't have to put any fertilizer like this in. You can just use regular, you know, the kind that you mix with a flower, or, you know, just buy good soil that doesn't need fertilizer. Just but I see the flowers coming, and I think I'm gonna give it a little bit extra push, but it's not smart to do what I did, to replant when the flowers are about to bloom, blossom, because these will probably fall off. Flowers generally don't seem to like change. So like this one is super picky. When this one, do I have any? I actually only got 2 flowers on this year, and it was only because I moved it. I can't see any new ones on the way. I only see new leaves coming. I don't see any new flower buds. And I still have this one from Christmas hanging here, and I don't know why. I still have some Christmas stuff hanging here. Just guess I just forgotten about them. So yeah, that's that. Also, another little tip. This is a mug. It looks whole, but it has a big crack in it, so it won't hold. This is a Lisa Parker mug, and you know I love her. It has a big crack in it, so it won't hold tea. I think you can see it right here. You can see the crack, and so it won't hold tea or coffee. That kind of leaks, but it does hold soil pretty well. So wet soil works, and like I said, I don't water a whole lot, so I don't need any holes in the bottom or anything. Just keep an eye on it. Don't let it get too wet, especially with these guys. These are cut-offs from the big paradise tree I showed you earlier. I don't know the English word for this, but you know, I'll look it up and I'll write it down below if I find it. I'll probably find it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on picking out these fake plastic crystals out of the soil, and I'm gonna put it up here, and I will see you another time for another little thing. Maybe if it stops snowing and becomes a bit warmer, I will do the terrariums pretty soon. Also need to do some work in the garden, but work in the garden when it's snowing and my back still hurts, no, I don't think so. And so this was my little tip for the day, or my little follow up, and I will see you guys another time. And if you follow my declutter, I'll see you for another declutter video tomorrow. So I'll see you. Bye bye.